Hi there, and welcome back to our virtual science classroom. An amazing morning to each and every one of you. And today we will continue for our quarter one, week number 5. So, this quarter one, week number 5 is again focused on mixtures. Basically, this is all about methods of separating mixtures, meaning to say, we are talking about impure substances. Ito yung mga combinations of pure substances mixed with another pure substances. So we are going to tackle what are the different ways or methods to separate them. Ano yung mga pamamaraan para mapaghiwalay natin yung mga mixtures na pinagsama natin to form a solution or any kind of mixture. So we will focus on that in lessons number 4, 5, and 6. So to start with, methods of separating mixtures is about separation techniques. So these separation techniques are used to separate mixtures into its constituent elements or compounds. So if it is an element or if it is a compound, we are going to separate it from the mixture. So we can recall that a mixture is contained or it contains elements and or compounds which are not chemically combined together. So meaning to say, by physical means, ginamitan mo lang ng kamay or pinaghalo mo lang sila by physical means, yun. That is mixture. By separating the constituents of mixtures, we are able to find out the properties. So by this technique, we are able to identify and we can see what are the different components of that mixture, of the unknown and unknown substances from the mixtures, and possibly use them for the production of useful substances such as medicines. So in our example here, we have the lemonade or the lemon juice. And we all know that the lemon juice is made up of sugar, water, and then lemon. So that's how are we going to separate our mixture when we use these different techniques or separation techniques. And there are actually a lot of different ways for us to separate them. So depending on the physical and chemical properties of the substances in the mixture, that we can choose the most appropriate separation technique to isolate them from or to isolate them in their from elements or compounds. Okay, so these are some examples. So we have sieving, we also have filtration, we also have evaporation, condensation, chromatography, and distillation. But this is just some examples. So we have here the different ways to separate mixtures, and to collate all of them, pagsasama-samahin natin sila ngayon and magbibigay tayo ng background. What are those separation methods? Number one, we have chromatography, and it separates compounds in a solution with same properties. Okay? Later on, I will give you each example of this method. Next, we have filtration. It separates solids or group of solids and liquids in a mixture. Evaporation, solids that cannot decompose when heated in a solution. Crystallization, dissolve solids in a solution. Simple distillation, it separates liquids in a solution. Fractional distillation, mixtures of miscible or dissolved liquids. Separating funnel, immiscible or undissolved liquids. And then we have sublimation, substances that sublime from two substances. Magnetic attraction, magnetic substances from non-magnetic ones. So these are the separation methods that we are going to discuss and focus on. So maybe some of these are you are familiar with, yung iba nagagawa niyo na sa bahay, or sometimes before kayo magluto, or sometimes usually you do it every day in a house chores or when you go outside. Okay, you are familiar with this example. So let's start with decantation or decanting. A common example of decantation is the washing of rice and water. When a mixture of a liquid and insoluble solid is allowed to go down, the water will float on top of the rice so the two components may be separated. Rice and water can also be separated using decantation. So simply separating the solid part to the liquid part. It's like you're pouring the liquid part. Okay, that is simple decantation. For example, yan, magsasaing ka, huhugasan mo yung bigas, itatapon mo yung tubig, and then it separates the liquid from the solid part. So that is decantation. Another example is that nagpakulo ka, for example, ng dahon ng bayabas, okay? Yung guava leaves. And you're going to separate the liquid from the guava leaves. So you will use this process, decantation. Okay? So this is the insoluble solid at the bottom and then the liquid. So by pouring it to another container, that is what you call decantation. Okay? And then number 2, we have filtration or filtering. So separation of solids or groups of solids from the liquid in a mixture using a medium through which the liquid can pass. So in our example, the medium which we are using over here is the filter paper. Okay, and it's folded and placed onto the filter panel. So this is what it looks like. If you're going to brew a coffee, if you're going to make a coffee manually, this is what it looks like. You're going to put the coffee granules on top, and then you have the filter paper, and then you will pour out the hot water so that it will filter. Okay, and you will mix the hot water with the coffee color and taste. So filter funnel and then filter paper, basically we use filter paper here in the process of filtration. Okay, and number 3, and this is, by the way, the example of our number 2. So we have the liquid that passes through the filter paper is called filtrate. So this is now the filtrate. Yung nasala na natin tubig. While the solid left on the filter paper is called the residue. So yung mga natira, this part is the residue. And again, the liquid that we filter are the filtrate. And let's proceed to number 3. Number 3 is all about evaporation. In this case, which we do not need to collect the solvent is boiled off and it escapes into the air while the solute is left behind in the holding container. Note that this method is not suitable for use on solutes, which can decompose by heating. Example, we have copper sulfate. So basically, we need to apply heat and evaporate the liquid for us to separate the liquid part to the solid part of the solution. So we have here salt solution, and then when we apply heat, the water will evaporate, and then the salt will remain in our container. So that is very important in the process of evaporation. Okay, we apply heat. And then number 4, we have crystallization. In crystallization, we use to separate a dissolved heat liable. So meaning to say it will decompose upon heating and hence can sublime solid, which are the solute, solids that we have from a solution. Okay, the solubility of the solute decreases as the solution is cooled, and the excess solute, which can no longer be dissolved in the saturated solution, crystallizes out of the solution. Meaning to say, this process is what we call solidification. Ang ibig sabihin nito na solidify yung isang bagay once we again expose to heat, or sometimes when we expose a substance under the heat of the sun. So we have here evaporating basin. So you will see the crystals at the bottom, it's forming already. And then in step 3, in the filter paper or sometimes in a container, the crystals are being left behind. Okay, so that's what we call crystallization. Sometimes you can see this example when you have fish sauce at home, yung patis natin. Okay, yung fish sauce, kapag hinayaan mo lang siya, and then if the fish sauce will, the liquid part evaporated, so what will be left out are the salts. Natitira yung asin kasi natuyo na yung liquid part. So napapansin niyo yung takip, di ba, ng patis, nagkakaroon ng salt. So ganun ang nangyayari, crystallization or what we call solidification. And then number 5, we have simple distillation. So in our simple distillation, this is to separate and collect solvent from a solution of solutes or in a mixture of 2 different liquids, which different boiling points with the use of heat. The logic behind how simple distillation works is actually the same as the evaporation. Okay? Meaning to say, this part is we are going to use a condenser for us to get the distilled water. Okay, with the process of heating again, the process of evaporation and condensation together, that is distillation. Again, evaporation and condensation together, that is distillation. So the water that we get from the process of distillation is what we call distillate. Okay? So kaya ang tawag natin, pag sinabi natin distilled water, nanggaling to sa process of evaporation and condensation. And this is what the process looks like. And number 6, we have fractional distillation. What is the difference between simple distillation and fractional one? So used to separate miscible liquids. So when we are talking about miscible liquids, these are the dissolved liquids. Ito yung mga liquids na pwedeng maghalo. Okay? Which different but very close boiling point. This method is more efficient than the simple distillation. A fractionating column is introduced between the distillation flask and the distillation condenser. Or by the way, the distillation flask and the condenser. And this is what it looks like. There you go. So as you can see, as the temperature changes, you will get different byproduct. So in 110 degrees, we have the gas, and then it will go up to 180 degrees Celsius. We will get kerosene, and then so on and so forth. So we will get different byproducts in this fractional distillation. Okay, these are all the distillation flasks, and these are the fractionating columns. So that's how fractional distillation works. And number 7, we have sublimation. Sublimation is basically to separate a mixture of solids containing one which sublimes and one or more than one which does not by heating the mixture. This is like, from solid to gas state. Okay, so this is what it looks like. These are the mixture of ammonium, the chloride and salt, and then the vapors of ammonium chloride. You will see it here, and then we have the photo flag, and then the solidified ammonium chloride. So we already separated that part with the use of sublimation. We also apply heat in this process. And then number 8, we have magnetization or magnetic attraction. In magnetization or magnetic attraction class, this method involves the separation of magnetic substances from non-magnetic substances by means of a magnet. So as simple as that. So we have here the mixture of sand and iron filings, and then we use magnet to separate the nails or the iron filings in the sand. Okay, so hover a magnet over the surface of the mixture, and then you will see that, basically and logically speaking, magnet attracts the iron filings, leaving the sand in the trap. So that's how it works. So if you want to separate the magnetic substances, just use the magnet. Okay. And number 9, paper chromatography. Paper chromatography used to separate a mixture of solutes or liquids with different solubility and degree of adsorption. Adsorption is different from absorption, okay? So this method uses a porous or absorbent medium, example, filter paper or paper, and also gel, and a solvent which can move over the material. So this is what it looks like. So I want you to observe, that is what you call adsorption. It is not totally absorbed. Okay, pag sinabi natin absorb, it will go inside. Okay, but when we are talking about absorption, it is just on the surface. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Paper chromatography is like splitting the colors. And this method is commonly used for separating a mixture of dyes in ink or different types of sugars. Examples, glucose, fructose, and sucrose. Okay, So that's how paper chromatography works. And do not forget to answer the following for our quarter one week number 5. Again, watch this video to review and rewatch. Answer all the questions in your modules using our Google Classroom. So look at your Google Classroom from time to time. Answer only in your notebook and in your printed modules. It depends. Okay, if you have your notebook, then answers only. If you have your printed modules, answer there already. Okay, so do not forget to answer your assignment in lesson number 4 to 6 pages. What's more, so I will provide you the link for you to watch the video in YouTube and complete the table. You will see there the table. Okay, so check the module. You will see a table, and then you need to complete it after watching the video in YouTube. And then you will answer also the assessment part of lesson number 4 to 6. So that's all. And if you do not have any questions, just free to contact me, free to message me in YouTube, Instagram, or in our group chat in Facebook. So that's all for now. And I hope you learned something today in our quarter one week number 5. And see you next week. Bye and God bless you.